Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends Dedeker and Jace teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible. You know, in the chat right here, we are talking about Halloween costumes because it is October, it is upon us, and we would love to, have a good time maybe doing some biblical-themed costumes. Is that, blasphemous? I think it might be. I don't know.
It's one of those things that's all relative, right? Because in nativity plays and stuff, kids are dressing up as biblical characters and in plays in church. But I guess the argument would be, well, but that's kind of to promote it rather than they might accuse us of making fun of it.
Yeah.
Oh, if it's us, then for 100% not allowed.
Okay.
By if we ask the church authorities, for sure.
Sure. Well, pretty much anything we do would not be allowed, I would say.
So if we were children, though, if we were young children in some sort of, fun biblical church, festival.
A harvest festival is what we would call it growing up.
Oh, harvest festival. Okay, so instead of Halloween.
Yeah, because you're not allowed to celebrate Halloween. And
Got it. Okay.
You do all the same things that you would do on Halloween, but you call it a harvest festival instead, and then it's okay.
That's cute. Okay, got it. Alrighty. So, but you can still dress up on Harvest Festival.
Yes, but at least the circles that I ran in, you're limited only slightly in what you can dress up as. So nothing stereotypically evil like
a witch,
devils or demons or witches or ghosts.
Right.
Yeah, everything else is fine. Captain America's fine.
But Dedeker, you dress up as a witch on a normal basis.
It's just a normal day.
I did not as a child.
Okay.
Though I
you were
didn't
not
dress
allowed
as a child.
Yeah. That was forbidden.
Yeah, for sure. Because people are saying that I should dress up as a lady, so I'm thinking that maybe I will try to make that happen. Yeah. I think that's a really good idea. There she is in all her glory up there, looking down on us as always. She's our own personal Jesus.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that song was about her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, definitely. I just want to say one last thing from my personal life, because this show is about me. No, I'm kidding. That yesterday I was interviewing someone who listens to our other show. I was interviewing someone for my day job at Sun Cafe, and they said that they are a recovering ex-evangelical. They were born very, very Christian and grew up in the Midwest. And then, basically I'm ran to LA to get away from all of that. So that sounds like it's a lot of people out there. I thought of you too.
Funny, only slightly related story for me is that I was messaging with a customer at my day job, talking about software stuff, helping him troubleshoot some things. And out of nowhere, he's like, oh yeah, one of these days I got to tune into your Bible study show.
Oh, you're like,
okay.
whoa. I don't, in terms of what, do you know what it actually is about? Or do you think that it's about being in a Bible study?
I don't know. But I was like, yeah, man. Go for it.
Go for it. You'll find out.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see what he gets. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to remember what happened last time. Oh yeah, the Bay of Pigs.
It was the Bay of Pigs incident.
Yes.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, as we recall, we did cast Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk, as the demon-possessed guy, the guy who had all those so many legion of demons in him that did get sent into the pigs. Yes.
Yeah. Definitely. That prompted a discussion between my partner and I. I was like, I saw the actual "We Are Legion" quote from Mark, and then he's like, I gotta watch that show again. It's so good. So maybe that's gonna happen. But yeah, that was the big thing that I felt like happened in the last episode. But we're moving it along.
Yeah, that was pretty much all of chapter 5 was about the Bay of Pigs, I think.
Yeah.
Why are we calling it that?
We're moving along at a clip. Oh, yeah. What else?
He also raised that dead girl. And the woman touched his cloak and he felt a power discharge
and
from him.
And he was like, whoa, who's touching my cloaky?
Exactly.
Who's touching my shit? Yeah.
I was just looking back through to see if anything else important happened.
I think it was just pigs and healings.
He told some other parables.
Yeah.
He calmed a storm.
Oh, yeah. Didn't we get the sower? Didn't we get the parable of the sower yet again?
Yeah.
We did get someone who commented on our Patreon saying, if I never have to hear the parable of the sower again, it'll be too soon.
Well,
something
bad
like that.
news for you. Because you're going to hear it a couple more times on this show, I think.
Yeah. Well, and I thought that somebody was listening to the parables and also was like, I don't know, what does this mean, Master? Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, all the time. The disciples are like, wait, okay, so hold on. Can you secretly give the secret explanation to us? Because we don't understand it.
Yeah, nobody gets it, unfortunately. What are you two drinking?
Oh, wow. What a question. I'm having a non-alcoholic pale ale from Partake Brewing. I don't know how they managed to make it only 10 calories. That's a little bit suspect to me, but I'm drinking it.
That's impressive. Lovely. How about you, Jace?
I'm drinking a Sazerac because I'm just still so inspired from New Orleans that I decided to do it. But while Dedeker and I were there, we took a class in Sazerac making. And so I actually followed all the instructions and did it real legit. And I got to say, it's better than the way I was making them before.
There you go. Now you know the true way of making them.
Good job. Yeah.
The true way. I saw the color of your drink and I was like, is he having what I'm having? I'm just having a Negroni, which is, what is it? Campari and gin and sweet vermouth. And that's it with an orange peel.
Nice.
It's very good.
Very classic.
Mm-hmm. Classic drink day, and then Dedeker just not drinking.
Yeah, well, I'm headed...
Which is classic in and of itself. Exactly. Classic.
I'm going to my aerial class after this, and so I want to be in the zone. You know, I don't want to be compromised. I can't be falling off of, any hoop spinning in the air. It'll be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like don't drink and drive and don't drink and hang yourself upside down in a class. Yeah.
No. All right. Don't do that for sure. Alrighty, what are we reading today?
What are we reading indeed? Yes, today we are continuing on. Oh
my God, every time that too. I always forget that it opens like that.
I know, it's just real sexy. Real sexy for the book of Mark here.
Very sexy.
Yeah. So we're reading the book of Mark, chapters 6 and 7 today, continuing on. Actually, Eugene has a great title for this first chapter. He calls it Just a Carpenter. So we'll see what that's all about.
Like, I'm just a Bill? Like, he's just
like
a
Schoolhouse Rock.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's it.
Yes, he's only a carpenter.
Yep, totally. Okay. All right, as we get started, we want to remind everyone to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
You can drink along with us, or you can listen to us while you're in the car.
But please do not do both at the same time or on the Lyra.
And with that, here we go with Mark, chapter 6. He went out from there.
Where?
Okay.
Period. There.
Cool.
From there.
Got it. Okay.
He came into his own country, and his disciples followed him. When the Sabbath had come, he began to teach in the synagogue, and many hearing him were astonished, saying, "Where did this man get these things?"
Wait, what things?
What things?
The things he's saying,
I see.
I suppose.
Like the things in his head that he's spouting out?
Yeah.
These idea things. Okay.
Yeah.
What is the wisdom that is given to this man that such mighty works come about by his hands? Isn't this the carpenter, the son of Mary and brother of James, Joseph, Judas, and Simon? Right, Joseph.
Wait. He has a Judas brother?
Joseph.
His brother name? It's his...
No, it's James, Joseph, Judas, and Simon.
Interesting. Okay, I'm looking at different translations, and each one has different names here.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so in King James...
Because nobody cares about these guys.
Yeah.
I love the name Joseph, though.
In King James, it says Mary, the brother of James and Joseph and of Judah, Juda, without the H at the end, and Simon. And then the NIV says James Joseph. It makes it a normal Joseph, not a Joseph.
Okay.
Judas and Simon, and that's actually spelled the Judas way. And then the Message says James, or we know his brothers, James, Justus, Jude, and Simon.
Justus.
What?
Well, Justus, Justus. Justus.
Interesting. Now, something we have not explored. We've explored the whole debate about how, the Catholics want us to believe that Jesus had no biological siblings because Mary has to be a virgin. Other traditions are like, nah, she totally went and had many other siblings. We've never really explored the image
many
of
other sexual experiences.
Yes. We never really explored the image of Jesus growing up just with a whole passel of siblings. Never really talked about how they must feel when Jesus starts going off doing all this crazy stuff and taking up all the attention. Were they like, whoa, we never knew that he would be capable of such things? Or are they all like, ugh, of course, Jesus, there he goes again.
Exactly.
I guess he would technically be the oldest.
Yeah, he'd be the oldest.
Right?
Yeah. He'd be the oldest. So is he just like a wise brother that's very like accommodating and sweet to all of his siblings? Or is he like bossy to everyone? And does he keep to himself? Is he like a reader and a carpenter? He listens to like podcasts while he's carpenting.
While he's planing.
Carpentering, yes. What's going on there?
Yeah, good question. Also, did he develop all of his powers later in life? Or did he have those growing up? Was it like when you watch Superman origin stories and like as a little kid, he has to hide his superpowers or something?
Yeah.
A lot of important questions here.
I know. Who's making that story? Should we be making like the extended
baby Jesus story?
The untold baby Jesus story.
I like it.
Eventually, the Marvel Extended Universe is going to run out of content and start getting biblical on us.
There you go.
I mean, they already kind of sort of run into biblical or other mythologies now and then, so it's really not that much of a leap.
Which biblical mythologies?
Like Legion, I guess. Just kind of like, they butt up subtly against mythological things. I think they usually use not Christian mythology, but other mythologies from around the world.
Okay.
Well, like Norse.
Norse or like the moon guy. The moon
guy.
Egyptian guy.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I'm totally blanking on his name.
I forget. It's Moon Dancer or something.
I want to. Yes, Moon Dancer. Aren't his sisters here with us?
Moon Knight. Thank you.
They were offended at him.
Oh.
Jesus said to them, "A prophet is not without honor, except in his own country and among his own relatives and in his own house."
That's funny.
Yeah. He could do no mighty work there, except that he laid his hands on a few sick people and healed them. He marveled because of their unbelief. He went around the villages teaching. He called to himself the 12 and began to send them out 2 by 2, and he gave them authority over the unclean spirits. He charged them that they should take nothing for their journey, except a staff only, no bread, no wallet, no money in their purse.
No wallet.
Yeah. But to wear sandals and not put on 2 tunics. Hello?
Wait.
Who's putting
I don't understand this reference.
Who's double tunicking?
Yeah.
Double
is
tunicking.
Cold? Is this a style?
I think it refers to this whole kind of asceticism, minimalism.
Okay.
Maybe you put on another tunic when the bottom tunic gets like threadbare and
then you can get a new tunic.
Yeah.
I like that idea. So you wear one tunic till it starts to become threadbare, and you just put another tunic on over it until that bottom one just disintegrates.
There you go.
And then you've just got the second
There you
tunic.
go. Yeah.
He said to them, "Wherever you enter into a house, stay there until you depart from there. Whoever will not receive you nor hear you, as you depart from there, shake off the dust that is under your feet for a testimony against them. Assuredly, I tell you, it will be more tolerable for Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city."
Right?
They went out and preached that people should repent. They cast out many demons and anointed many with oil who were sick and healed them. King Herod heard this, for his name had become known.
Is this one to Herod the Second?
Well, In this gospel, we never had a first Herod, so this is the first time we've heard of this guy, but this would be number 2.
Well, okay, thank you.
Herod relative 1. Relatively prime.
No,
Herod.
No, but
second.
yeah.
But you were saying in this gospel we haven't heard of a Herod yet.
But that doesn't mean that the other one didn't exist. Just because the tree doesn't fall in the wood doesn't mean that it didn't
But it doesn't exist.
I'm mixing metaphors, but you know what I mean.
Hold on, let me repeat that back to you. Just because the tree didn't fall in the wood doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't hear the tree fall in the wood doesn't mean that it didn't fall or exist.
Okay, good. Okay.
There you
King
go.
Herod
We did it.
did hear this tree, though, for the tree's name had become known. And he said,
It was Jesus, the tree.
John the Baptizer has risen from the dead, and therefore these powers are at work in him.
Wait, what?
When did he die?
Yeah, wait, what?
Yeah, when did he die?
Wait, when did he get risen? Did that happen in the last one?
Well, I think people are saying that they think Jesus might be John the Baptist raised from the dead.
Oh.
Which doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't
because,
make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's weird.
Well, we know in the last gospel that John had his head cut off, but that didn't happen in this gospel.
No,
Not yet,
right?
at least.
John wasn't even a character in this gospel.
No, he baptized Jesus at the beginning, right?
Yeah, it was like in the very first
It was
couple
like the
verses.
first-
it was so
yeah.
fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But others said, it is Elijah. Others said, it is the prophet. Or like one of the prophets.
Or like one of the prophets.
One of those.
Yeah, I love, they're like, it's the prophet. And someone's like, which one?
Yeah, they're like, there's
you
one of them.
Like, one of them. But Herod, when he heard this, said, this is John, whom I beheaded. He has risen from the dead.
That's weird.
For Herod himself had sent out and arrested John and bound him in prison for the sake of Herodias, his brother Philip's wife, for he had married her. Okay, we're getting the backstory.
Mhm.
Okay.
Told
It's actually kind of fun.
retroactively.
So we get
Yeah.
this kind of surprise reveal that John's
Yeah.
dead, and then the flashback to how it happened.
Yeah, that's fun. But also weird that they think that Jesus is John.
Yeah, the timeline just doesn't add up. Unless John died and then possessed Jesus's body after he was already alive. So it's not like a reincarnation kind of thing, but like his spirit kind of occupied him.
He didn't. Okay. Yeah, like assume. Okay.
For John said to Herod, it is not lawful for you to have your brother's wife. Herodias set
Awkward.
herself against him and desired to kill him, but she couldn't. For Herod feared John, knowing that he was a righteous and holy man, and kept him safe. When he heard him, he did many things, and he heard him gladly.
What?
I'm sorry. Okay, no, we're getting the whole story now. Okay. Told in a much worse way.
Yeah.
In a much less cinematic way.
Listen, okay, this is like the version that What's His Butt from the Tommy Wiseau wrote.
Oh, yes.
yeah.
Okay, you're right.
So he's just doing it
A very
poorly.
convoluted and confused storytelling.
Exactly.
It's funny because I was actually going to make an argument for this actually being more like how a lot of TV shows are told today, where the storylines are all out of order and nothing's very clear, nothing's really spelled out for you. But then if I imagine Tommy Wiseau writing it, then maybe not. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Then a convenient day came that Herod, on his birthday, made a supper for his nobles, the high officers, and the chief men of Galilee. When the daughter of Herodias herself came in and danced, she pleased Herod and those sitting with him. The king said to the young lady, ask me whatever you want, and I will give it to you. He swore to her, whatever you shall ask of me, I will give you, up to half my kingdom. She went out and said to her mother, what shall I ask?
She should have
She
asked
said-
for half of his freaking kingdom.
I know,
Yeah,
if
that
this
was the right
girl
choice.
had any sense at all.
Don't ask your mother, just like freaking say it. Whatever.
She said, the head of John the Baptizer. She came in immediately with haste to the king and asked, I want you to give me right now the head of John the Baptizer on a platter. The king was exceedingly sorry, but for the sake of his oaths and of his dinner guests, he didn't wish to refuse her. Immediately the king sent out a soldier of his guard and commanded to bring John's head, and he went and beheaded him in the prison and brought his head on a platter and gave it to the young lady, and the young lady gave it to her mother.
She was like, oh, just what I wanted. Thank you.
Finally.
Yeah, I feel like this this telling of it is more like the telling I remember learning growing up. Because I feel like the last gospel, it didn't give all these details about it being right there at the banquet because he didn't want to embarrass himself in front of his friends. I feel like this one's given us more of that color, which is just so screwed up when you really imagine this story.
Well, yeah, it's very screwed up.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm confused by, first of all, why does Herod care and why does his wife care what John the Baptizer thinks about their relationship? Like, do they worry that he's going to have enough influence on people?
Well, yeah, that was the whole deal, is because he was an influencer. He had like a huge TikTok following.
Yeah, he was a big time content creator. And so he was going to like hashtag cancel culture Herod.
I see. And they wanted to get in front of that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So they killed him. Jeez.
All right. Well, I'm handing it off to the next person.
Oh, that's me. Where are we?
Verse 29.
Thank you. When his disciples heard this, they came and took up his corpse and laid it in a tomb. The apostles gathered themselves together to Jesus, and they told him all the things, whatever they had done, and whatever they had taught. He said to them, "You come apart into a deserted place and rest a while." For there were many coming and going, and they had no leisure so much as to eat. They went away in the boat to a desert place by themselves. They saw them going, and many recognized him and ran there on foot from all the cities. They arrived before them and came together to him. Jesus came out, saw a multitude, and he had compassion on them because they were like sheep without a shepherd, and he began to teach them many things. That's very patronizing, I'm sorry. When it was late in the day, his disciples came to him and said, "This place is deserted and it is late in the day. Send them away that they may go into the surrounding country and villages and buy themselves bread, for they have nothing to eat." But he answered them, "You give them something to eat."
No, I think he's like, "Listen, dude, we're on the playa and that's not really how it works out here. Like we're not really dealing with money, you know."
Is that just like...
Are you making a like, what is it, Burning Man reference?
A Burning
yes,
Man. Yeah.
I'm making an insufferable Burning Man person impression. I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone who listens who goes to Burning Man, but that's what you sound like.
Whoa.
I just like Emily's reading where they're like, "Bro, we should let these guys go eat." He's like, "You give them food. You
give them something to eat." I'm not lifting a finger. I have to do that all day. They asked him, "Shall we go and buy 200 denarii?
Denari?
200 denarii was about 7 or 8 months' wages for an agricultural laborer.
Wait, hold on. Go and buy. Hold on.
Wait, no, here it is. Buy 200 denarii worth of bread and give them something to eat.
I see. Okay.
He said to them, "How many loaves do you have? Go see." When they knew, they said 5 and 2 fish. He commanded them that everyone should sit down in groups on the green grass. They sat down in ranks by hundreds and by 50s.
That's a fun throwback to like Old Testament stuff.
By
where we did a lot of like
and
by numbers and by other numbers.
Yeah, it's so weird. He took the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, and looking up to heaven, he blessed and broke the loaves, and he gave to his disciples to set before them, and he divided the 2 fish among them all. They all ate and were filled. They took up 12 baskets full of broken pieces and also of the fish. 12 baskets of bread? Is that what he's saying?
I guess leftover crusts and
crusty wusties. Okay.
Yeah.
And fish scales or something.
Fish
No, I think the idea is there's still bread and fish left over that wasn't eaten. There's leftovers.
Okay, nice. Those who ate the loaves were 5,000 men. Immediately, he made his disciples...
That's end of that story.
Cool.
There's like a paragraph break here in the other translations here. Yeah. So they ate it. So this is the start of his cool touring magic show where he does this whole loaves and fish thing. So I think he's going to do that again.
Oh, okay.
Because everyone loved it so much at this show. Do you remember that from the last gospel?
Remember he did it twice in the last gospel.
That's what I'm saying.
He's gonna he's going to do it again.
So we'll see if he does it twice in this one as well.
Immediately, he made his disciples get into the boat and go ahead to the other side to Bethesda. Bethesda? No. Bethsaida, while he himself sent the multitude away.
Bethsaida?
Bethsaida?
I can't even get through the word, so.
Thank you. Yeah, good. Starfield. After he had taken leave of them, he went up to the mountain to pray. When evening had come, the boat was in the midst of the sea, and he was alone on the land. Seeing them distressed and rowing, for the wind was contrary to them, about the 4th watch of the night he came to them, walking on the sea. And he would have passed by them, but they, when they saw him walking on the sea, supposed that it was a ghost and cried out, for they all saw him and were troubled. But he immediately spoke to them and said to them, "Cheer up, it is I. Don't be afraid." So he's like walking on water just for fun, and they're all like, "Ah!"
Yeah, maybe he was tired of how slow the boats were going because they were rowing
so
into the
like,
wind. And he's like, I'm just going to walk, guys. This is stupid.
In the fiction of Saint Young Men, it's because Jesus is hydrophobic, like he can't swim, and he's like deathly afraid of being in the water.
Swim.
And so that's why he's just like kind of forces himself to like walk on the water.
That's cool. He got into the boat with them and the wind ceased, and they were very amazed among themselves and marveled, for they hadn't understood about the loaves, but their hearts were hardened. When they had crossed...
Hold on. That was a lot of conjunction junctions
weird.
that I didn't think were going to
be together.
Combine all those sentences together.
They
were amazed. They hadn't understood about the loaves. Like that happened and they were still like, meh, sleight of hand.
Okay.
Oh, I see. They thought it was a magic trick. Maybe that's why he does it a second time. To be like, no, guys, watch closely this time.
Watch closely. 1,000,000 loaves. When they had crossed over, they came to the land at Gennesaret and moored to the shore. When they had come out of the boat, immediately the people recognized him and ran around that whole region and began to bring those who were sick on their mats to where they heard he was. Wherever he entered, into villages or into cities or in the country, they laid the sick in the marketplaces and begged him that they might touch just the fringe of his garment, and as many as touched him were made well.
Wow.
But don't do it without him knowing, because he'll get mad at you.
Well, he will know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
like, don't
know.
think that you can sneak.
Right.
Who touched my garment?
You can't sneak a touch on that garment. No way.
No
way.
Okay, is that it?
All right, we're going to take a quick break to fill some drinks and talk about how you can support this show. The best thing you can do is just tell your friends about it. We would love to have more of you here at the live shows on Thursdays. They're a ton of fun. And even while the three of us are in Asia for a few months, we're going to be continuing to do it at the same time. It'll just be morning for us. So join us for some morning drinks or some evening drinks, whatever it is that you're into. And just bring your friends around. Have a fun time, light a bonfire maybe, gather around the podcast machine out by the bonfire, bring all your friends around, maybe blast it on a boombox outside of your crush's house.
Wow.
There's lots of different options here for how you can spread the word
if they're into that
about.
sort of thing.
If they're into it. Yeah, don't be a creep about it. But if you think they'll enjoy it, maybe go play it for them. And also, if you want to go the extra mile to support this show, we do have a Patreon at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. And as a thank you for being a parishioner there, we have personal toasts on the show, early releases of episodes, Emily's drink recipes, and of course, our blessings and affections and fish scales.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
All right. And now it is time for Mark, chapter 7. Whoa. Eugene has a title for this one called The Source of Your Pollution.
Ew.
Oh.
Kind of
sounds like a lyric from some kind of...
yes.
Yeah, I don't know, like a love song by...
The source of the pollution.
I don't know, by who?
Yeah, like My Chemical
by
Romance
like Marilyn
or
Manson
like
or something, I was going to say.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Mark chapter 7. Then the Pharisees and some of the scribes gathered together to him, having come from Jerusalem. Now, when they saw some of his disciples eating bread with defiled, that is, unwashed hands, they found fault. Parentheses, for the Pharisees and all the Jews don't eat unless they wash their hands and forearms, holding to the tradition of the elders.
Wow, forearms, like we're going into surgery. Goodness.
Yeah. They don't eat when they come from the marketplace unless they bathe themselves. And there are many other things which they have received to hold to. Washings of cups, pitchers, bronze vessels, and couches.
Washing of couches? What?
Gotta do a steam
Washings
clean of your
couches
couches before you eat.
Oh, what I would not give if Eugene uses the word steam clean.
That would be pretty amazing. Okay, let's see.
Amazing.
Let's see.
What I would not give.
Let's see. Would never eat a meal without going through the motions of a ritual hand washing. He's throwing some shade right away at the Pharisees here. With an especially vigorous scrubbing if they had just come from the market, to say nothing of the scourings they'd give to jugs and pots and pans. He just left out couches entirely.
Talk about the couch?
No couches.
Jeez.
Coward,
Okay.
Eugene. You're a coward. Okay.
Yes.
The Pharisees and the scribes asked him, "Why don't your disciples walk according to the tradition of the elders, but eat their bread with unwashed hands?" He answered them, Tommy Wiseau, right. He answered them, "Well, Isaiah did prophesy of you hypocrites, as it is written, the people honors me with their lips,
What?
but their heart is far from me. But in vain do they worship me, teaching as doctrines the commandments of men."
Beautiful.
Also, Jace, I'm sorry. I need to say something yet again because people have said this in the chat the past few times, but it's prophesy. When it's a verb.
Yes. Yes, you're right. You're right.
Just before somebody else sounds off in the chat yet again.
No, don't want to get canceled over
Don't
that.
Oh, for prophesying or prophesying.
Uh-huh.
All these influencers out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did Isaiah prophesy of you? Okay. Yes. Hypocrites, as it is written. Okay. End of that quote from Isaiah. For you set aside the commandments of God, Mark. He didn't say Mark there. The commandment of God, and hold tightly to the tradition of men, the washing of pitchers and cups, that you do many other such things. He said to them, full well do you reject the commandment of God, that you may keep your tradition. For Moses said, honor your father and mother, and he who speaks evil of father or mother, let him be put to death.
Oh.
But you say, if a man tells his father or his mother, whatever profit you might have received from me is Corban. Corban
who?
Dallas.
Corban is a Hebrew word for an offering devoted to God. Okay.
Okay. That is to say, given to God.
Yeah, I'm lost.
Yeah.
I'm lost.
Nice. I don't know what
Yeah.
he's saying, but I'll just.
I vaguely remember this from the last gospel, but he's saying something about like you're doing these traditions, but then you end up disrespecting your mother and father because you're putting a tradition of tithing before just doing what's right and taking care of your parents, I think is how I read it
Okay.
before.
Huh.
See, he goes on to say, then you no longer allow him to do anything for his father and mother.
Yes, I remember now in the last gospel that it was, people who are prioritizing using their excess money for tithing rather than for taking care of their parents.
Mm.
I think actually here he's even saying like, you, the Pharisees, are telling this person, don't give your money to your parents, give it to the synagogue instead.
Sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, right. Because he says, then you no longer allow him to do anything for his father and mother, making void the word of God by your tradition, which you have handed down. You do many things like this. It's like and other stuff. You suck. He called all the multitude to himself and said to them, hear me, all of you, and understand. There is nothing from outside of the man that going into him can defile him.
Interesting. I would argue with that, but what about cyanide? What about arsenic? What about lead poisoning?
Well, he's talking about defiling, though, more in like a spiritual sense, I think, rather than
there's plenty of that too. Trust me.
I mean, there are plenty of things that can go in you that can defile you.
That can defile you spiritually, emotionally, financially.
Really?
Trust me on this.
All right. Are you thinking like drugs? Is that what you're getting at?
Oh, you know what I'm talking about.
Penis?
I mean, according to Jesus, there's nothing from outside of the man that going into him can defile him.
Great.
But
they didn't have like that many drugs back then.
They didn't have
the same-
microplastics back then.
Oh, microplastics.
Okay,
That's
sure.
what we're getting
You're
at.
right.
Got it.
They didn't have any plastics at all, actually. So, sure.
You're
Okay.
right.
But
Micro or otherwise.
the things which proceed out of the man are those that defile the man. If anyone has ears to hear, let him hear. When he had entered into a house, away from the multitude, his disciples asked him about the parable. He said to them,
What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, what was that all about back there?
He said to them, are you thus without understanding also? Don't you perceive that whatever goes into the man from outside can't defile him? Because it doesn't go into his heart, but into his stomach, then into the latrine. Thus,
Hold on.
making
Wait,
all
hold
food
on. Wait,
clean.
Does it actually say
Does it
that?
say that?
Yes, it actually
What?
says that.
What? The Bible mentions the latrines?
Uh-huh. I mean, this translation does.
The
Oh, there it
latrine.
is. Thus making all foods clean. What?
I don't know if that's
What
how
does that
that
even
works.
mean? Yeah, I don't think that they understand like
What does Eugene say?
the
What does Eugene say?
system of
Yeah.
digestion.
Oh, does he? Oh, gosh.
Oh God, what does he say?
So Eugene says, it doesn't enter your heart, but your stomach works its way through the intestines and is finally flushed.
Okay, Eugene.
And then in parentheses, he says, that took care of dietary quibbling. Jesus was saying that all foods are fit to eat.
But they're not.
Well, I mean,
Listen, okay, the other day, I'm just going to say,
I'm really scared with what story you're going to tell right now.
at work, yesterday at work, I ordered something after I did all of these like different freaking interviews, and I ordered some food, and the kitchen gave me like a waffle that was expired, and I could taste it because I'm sorry, I've worked there for 11 years and I know what it freaking tastes like. And I was like, this tastes sour. And then they looked and they realized it was expired. So I'm just saying, Jesus, that not everything is fit for eating, including my expired waffle.
So are you telling me
Wow.
that those waffles are not fresh made?
Well, that one wasn't. The batter was expired.
I see.
They had a new batter and they were like, whoops, because I told them like this tastes like literal shit. it just tasted really bad. It was really bad.
Yeah, gosh, that's not a
Okay.
good advertisement for your
No.
cafe.
No, it is not. I was very, very upset about the whole freaking thing, top to
Gosh.
bottom. They made me another one with the good waffle mixture, but I was like, I'm sorry, WTF. So anyways, Jesus, no.
Okay. To go back though to, I do remember as a kid, one of the lessons that you're taught about Christianity is that, Jesus comes along and kind of makes it so we don't have to do all the rules that the Jews had to do. And like, this is, I think, the only case where I've actually seen him back that up by saying, at least in the Gospels, right? Where he's saying, yeah, no, the whole clean, unclean thing, it's all poopy in the end. So just go for it,
I mean, sure. Like, I hear what he's getting at, but there are things like contaminants and expired waffles, is all that I'm saying.
Sure. He went on. What comes out of a person is what defiles them. Wait, wrong translation. That which proceeds out of the man, that defiles the man. I knew that made too much sense. For from within, out of the hearts of men, proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, sexual sins, murders, thefts, covetings, wickedness, deceit, lustful desires, an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, and foolishness. It's a long list. All these evil things come from within and defile the man. From there, he arose and went away into the borders of Tyre and Sidon. He entered into a house and didn't want anyone to know it, but he couldn't escape notice.
Wait, hold on. He snuck. Is this saying
Like
Jesus
broke into
snuck
a house.
into someone's house?
I think that's
What is
what it
this?
This
says.
is random and weird. Okay.
What? Okay, I'm sorry that we keep calling on Eugene so much, but I'm just
Like, how does Eugene parse that out? How is he like,
is this breaking
Wow.
and entering? What is going on?
it sounds like it's
Yeah.
breaking and entering. How am I going to make this sound better?
This just
Like,
says
this wasn't an issue.
he entered a house where he didn't think he would be found, but he couldn't escape notice.
Oh, so like a safe house. Like he's trying to have his sunglasses on and like be on the DL because he's a celebrity now.
Right.
Not that he'd broke into somebody's house.
I mean,
but was bad at it because of course they noticed.
Yeah.
Still unclear to me how that actually went down. I'm actually curious. I want to check something here real quick.
Yes.
I want to see what Tyndale has to say.
Mm-hmm.
And from thence he rose and went into ye borders of Tyre and Sidon and entered into a house and
Like Link.
and,
Just going unceremoniously into anyone's old house
broke some pots
while they're sleeping.
Yeah.
Yes.
Entered into an house and wold that no man should have known. But he could not be hid.
He could not be hid.
Shouldn't. So no man shouldn't have known. That's SHNLD. No vowels at all in this.
No
one
vowels.
here.
Gosh.
Well, I'm sorry. What does that even? What?
Shouldn't have known. But he could not to be hid. For a woman whose little daughter had an unclean spirit, having heard of him, came and fell down at his feet. Now,
What does an unclean spirit even mean?
I think we've always been chalking it up to some kind of mental illness that is socially unacceptable.
right.
Got it.
Now, the woman was a Greek, a Syrophoenician by race.
Oof. Gotta get that
Yeah.
checked out.
Oof. She begged him that he would cast the demon out of her daughter. But Jesus said to her, "Let the children be filled first, for it is not appropriate to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs."
Oh, right. This story.
But
yeah.
the fast-talking lady, yeah.
So they fed her first?
Yeah, it is weird that she asked about her daughter and then he says, "Let the children be filled first." I think the wording was different in Matthew in terms of the way that he rebukes her here.
Like other children? What is he talking
It was
about?
the way the story went down the first time around is Jesus is basically saying, "No, you're a Greek. Like, why would I take good bread for the kiddos and give it to a dog, which is what you are?"
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she answered him, "Yes, Lord. Yet even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs." He said to her, "For this saying, go your way. The demon has gone out of your daughter."
Oh, okay.
So he loved it. He loves wordplay.
Mhm.
She went away to her house and found the child having been laid on the bed with the demon gone out.
Great.
Yeah, happy ending. It was a weird telling of that story this time.
Yeah.
I felt like Matthew's was better.
Yeah, again, I mean, it's fun.
I feel like most of the stories, I think I've preferred Mark's telling of them, but this one, I think Matthew's was better.
It was a little weird.
Yeah. Again, he departed from the borders of Tyre and Sidon and came to the Sea of Galilee through the midst of the region of Decapolis.
Where?
That's cool. Never heard of that place. Decapolis. They brought him to one who was deaf and had an impediment in his speech. They begged him to lay his hands on him. He took him aside from the multitude privately and put his fingers into his ears, and he spat and touched his tongue.
Ew.
That's extremely weird.
I think he spit on this guy's tongue.
Ew.
Ew.
That's how I read that.
Ew.
Let me see what Eugene says. This is interesting.
But he did it privately. That's even worse. That is even
Yeah.
worse.
It's not
I don't know
great.
why.
It's not great all the way
Ugh.
around.
Yeah, Eugene says he took the man off by himself, put his fingers in the man's ears, and some spit on the man's tongue.
Okay.
Yeah. There it is. There it is.
People are just touching his garment and they're fine. Why does he
I
have
know,
to
why
spit in
do
this
we-
guy's mouth?
Yeah. Why? Why this?
Mouth
I
stuff.
think he just wanted to.
Yeah, that is
But okay, hold on.
what it sounds like.
This guy's deaf. How is he even conveying to this man what's about to happen?
Well, no, it says they brought him one who was deaf
Yes.
and had an impediment in his speech. So I'm assuming that other people were like, yo, this dude can't hear and also doesn't speak.
Okay, but yes, but imagine that you, Jace,
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
know that you have to, the only way you can heal this deaf man
Yeah.
who also has an impediment
Yeah.
is to put your fingers in his ears and
Spit
spit in his mouth. and you don't know any sign language. You're at a time where sign language probably doesn't really formally exist.
Right.
How are you going to get him to cooperate with what you're about to do?
I mean, I'm assuming if I'm Jesus, I just have such power of charisma that he just kind of goes with it, you know?
Cool.
Or you surprise him. I mean, sticking the fingers in his ears. Okay, you stick your fingers in his ears and he's like, what? And opens his mouth and then you're like,
Ew,
and you spit in it real
I
quick.
hate this.
Maybe the spit was like the speech that he was giving him. Jesus was like, from my body to yours with my spit.
Yeah.
I'm just spit
It's mouth stuff.
falling here.
Ew.
I like the idea that actually maybe Jesus was into this guy. Kind of took him away
Yeah,
and kind
I
of
like that too.
held him by
But
the
it's-
sides of the head and did like a French kiss.
But
and then
without
the
consent
telling
is
later-
not great.
No, I think they were both into it. They're having a good time.
Okay.
But then the disciples were like, whoa, he stuck his fingers in his ears and spit in his mouth. That's what happened. Don't even worry about it. Maybe they were uncomfortable.
People were like, looked
with
like
it.
they were making out. And they're like, no. That no.
yeah.
I understand why you would think that.
Yeah.
A lot of people do. But I can tell you, I've been rolling with this guy for years now that this is actually what's happening. Trust me on this one.
Yeah, he only does the kissing stuff with us, not with other people.
Wait, does he do it with all the disciples? Is that what you're insinuating?
That is what I'm insinuating, yes.
He's shipping.
I'm shipping.
He be
them,
shipping.
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
This is actually based on a talk that I attended when I was in college
Oh,
from this guy who was a
very impressionable age.
impressionable age. I think he was a Catholic priest or maybe a former Catholic priest at this point who teaches a lot about homosexuality in the Bible. And one of the things that he talked about in that talk that he gave, I don't even remember. I think this was just like a guest lecture, not even for a class or anything. But he came in and talked about this. And he was saying that, yeah, actually at this time in this area, men fooling around with each other was a pretty normal thing. So he's like,
Well,
so there's
it was
actually a
a
really
normal-
good chance that Jesus and the disciples got it on.
Yeah, I mean, it was a normal thing like for a lot of years after this too. Like
in many
Romans,
cultures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Many cultures, yeah.
And that the whole homophobia thing didn't happen until much later, actually.
Yeah, of
'Cause it was
course.
just sort of
Probably
like, yeah, whatever.
Republicans created it or something.
Right. Sure.
I think that's giving him way too much credit.
Yeah. I think it
Fine.
existed. Yeah. It was the topic of it was about how the word homosexuality wasn't even created until just a couple hundred years ago. And so anyone who translates the Bible and uses that word is kind of inherently being inaccurate because that just wasn't even a concept that existed.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. So he plugged this guy's ears and spit or maybe made out with him.
Mm-hmm.
He did that.
34.
Touched his tongue. Looking up to heaven, he
With
sighed.
his tongue.
He sighed and said to him, Ephphatha.
What? Oh, yeah.
Ephphatha. Ephphatha. That is, be opened. Immediately, his ears were opened, and the impediment of his tongue was released, and he spoke clearly. He commanded them that they should tell no one. But the more...
So he wants to keep it a secret.
Don't talk about this makeout sesh.
Metal
But the
husband,
more he commanded
don't talk
them,
about our affair.
so much more widely they proclaimed it. They were astonished beyond measure, saying, he has done all things well. Wink. He makes even the deaf hear and the mute speak.
Oh, that's like Mary Did You Know, which is a horrible song, by the way.
Yes.
It is a
yes,
terrible
we know.
song.
We know.
Yeah.
I never heard this story.
Well, now you have.
I never heard the specifics of fingers in the ears and spitting on the tongue. They glossed over that one like they glossed over so many things in Sunday school.
I bet they did. They can't really keep up that facade of like there's no gay stuff in the Bible.
Right.
If they're talking about this Jesus making out with this dude.
It does seem like if you're sharing that story with children, you are directly asking them to recreate it.
Oh, for
After
sure,
Sunday
right?
school.
Yeah.
Stick your fingers in my ear and
Open your mouth and I'll spit into it.
I can't speak. Heal me quick. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Actually, that
Right.
sounds like a fun game. We should all get together and play that. Maybe bring your friends Everyone,
I'll do it with the lady.
Dedeker's face is horrified.
I'm just okay, but we have germ theory now is the thing. We have germ theory now.
shoot.
We gotta be careful.
Well, people make out with each other, Dedeker.
I know, okay, but Jason's saying we should all get together and do this.
Well,
I mean, stay home if you're sick.
yeah.
What a weird day. I never
All
thought
right.
I would be the like anti-group sex one all of a sudden in the conversation.
Whoa.
It's not
Whoa.
usually my stance.
I'm just talking about.
This is just group
I'm just
making
talking about
out.
makeouts.
Fine, group
Yeah,
makeouts.
Yeah.
Group makeouts.
Yeah.
It's
I don't
fine.
know. This is a
Group
family-friendly
makeouts,
show.
yes.
I mean, well,
Ish.
we do read the Bible, which is not very family-friendly.
No. I should watch your Bible study show.
God. Oh, no.
Yikes.
Oh, no.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Anyways, okay, everyone. Next week, more Mark. I'm sorry. We're at the point where I'm gonna ask how many more episodes.
Oh, right. Of course. I have it up because I knew you were going to ask.
Oh, good. Well done.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more marks after.
Got it. 5
today.
marks. Oh, hi, 5 marks. Yeah, this is moving at a clip, though.
Mm-hmm.
There's not gonna. Yeah. There's not gonna be many more of these parable days. So, and yes, it's over. I know that was quick.
Yeah. This was a fast one.
Yeah,
It's because the breakneck pace of Mark, really.
I know.
That's what it is.
it feels really quick for sure.
I love it, though.
Yeah, I love it too. Is Luke Skywalker's quick? Also, is Mark
No.
Hamill going to be Jesus next time?
Wait, sorry. Hold on. 2 very different questions.
Yeah.
Okay. I can answer your question about Luke. Let's
Okay.
see. Luke is 11 episodes.
Okay,
And
which is
Mark,
as many as Matthew.
Mark
was
is just
8.
8.
8, yeah.
And then Matthew, also 11. So it'll be the
Mhm.
same length as Matthew.
Yeah,
And then Johnny Boy
you said it was like 13 or something.
is only 10.
10. Got it.
But
Okay.
still on the longer side. So Mark is the
Yeah.
shortest of all of them.
Can we cast Hayden Christensen as Judas for the book of Luke? Danielle says, and I love
As-
that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Love
keep
that.
I'll
in
make
mind.
a note of it.
Yeah, make a
Make
note.
a note of it.
We're giving him his revival time, his renaissance. Like
he deserves
Hayden.
it.
Hayden is in a renaissance right now. He was on
He deserves
Ahsoka.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's
He
a
was
perfect
in-
time to get him. Get him while he's becoming hot again.
By the way, we did learn because
Mm-hmm.
Jason and I did re-examine our Drunk Bible Study the movie cast list. Which, by the way, if you're in our DBS Fans and Fellowship Facebook group, that this Google Doc is linked.
We should
that
post
anyone
this in the
can-
Discord as well.
Yeah, so anyone can
Yeah.
keep track of the ongoing cast list. And I have found we have some repeats.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like we've already now cast Chris Hemsworth twice.
Yeah.
But I
So-
think that's an easy
That's
fix.
fine though.
No, it's an
Well,
easy fix because
what is
so
it?
we cast
Yeah.
him as Samson, which I think is still
Yeah.
great. Like we can't undo that, right? But then we had the Brothers of Thunder, which is why we cast him again, and also Liam, I think.
Mhm, Yeah.
Mhm.
But I'm just saying, what if we recast the Brothers of Thunder to be Liam and Luke? So we take the other 2 Hemsworths.
Is that
Yeah.
budget Hemsworth?
Yeah.
that's budget
yeah.
Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Right?
Yeah.
So we get Liam and Luke, and they're the Brothers of Thunder because it makes sense, right? They're the Brothers of Thunder, not the Thunder himself, who is Samson.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Also, we've cast MC Gainey twice.
Yeah.
As
that's
well.
awkward.
Did notice
Fired.
that one.
He's
so,
fired.
2 bit parts, though, I'm more inclined
Yeah, he
to
can
let that slide.
He needs some work.
He can, you know,
right now.
Yeah.
he can
We'll
have a
throw
couple
him
little
bone.
cameos. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah, for the last few years, Dedeker and I have been watching the Highlander series from the 90s.
Mm.
And there is actually a lot of actors who play small roles who then come back a couple seasons
Yeah,
later playing a
not
totally
surprised.
Yeah, the
different,
casting directors are a little lazy, I think.
totally different character. Yeah.
Listen, I'm in the midst of watching Lord of the Rings again, my yearly watch.
Right, right.
And they reuse people in that as well. Like the little girl in the Shire is the little girl in Helm's Deep.
really?
Yes,
Wow.
Yes,
the most
it's
adorable girl in the world.
because they're children of producers.
Ugh,
Is
I mean,
why.
she's really cute though.
fine,
She's really cute.
fine.
So, but she's in like 2 different movies as 2 different children.
Yeah. Well,
It's fine.
Okay, kids. Let's
Okay,
take this
it's
home.
done.
Okay, we're leaving. Okay. All right. Thank you for joining us for Bible study today. If you want to join the audience in our live stream shows, follow us on Twitch at Drunk Bible Study or go to drunkbiblestudy.com/live. If you want even more Drunk Bible Study, including early releases, cocktail recipes, personal toasts on the show, and more, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. If you enjoy the show, take a moment to subscribe and write us a nice review on iTunes, letting other people know what you like about it. You can also join fellow listeners in the Drunk Bible Study Fans at Fellowship Facebook group or on our Discord server at discord.drunkbiblestudy.com. Find us on Twitter at Drunk Biblecast or X, on Instagram at Drunk Bible Study, and send us an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Jace Lindgren, Dedeker Winston, and me, Emily Matlack. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from their album Home of the. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.
I made a memory about your dad. He's in a book club. Whoa. He's got a history of skimming past all the pages of ageless confessional